Welcome back to the channel. This is the Action Figure Grader, and I wanted to make folks aware of an auction that's going on right now over at Heritage Auctions. And I received a catalog from my buddy Gene. I think he bought something from Heritage, and they sent him a catalog for the Douglas Hott, or the Doug Hott Holt or Hott. We'll find out in a second. But if you go to the front page for Heritage Auctions, ha.com, and then under Auctions tab, if you go to the auction calendar, it'll have all the upcoming auctions that are coming. And then on page 2, at least as of the making of this video, the Doug Hott collection, Star Wars collection of action figures and toys, the final bidding is on December 7th. And it's a loose graded collector's paradise. There are a lot of really nice ones, in addition to mint on cards, all the usual mint on cards, which I'm not going to bother going through. There's a huge assortment of different graded and ungraded mint on cards in Doug's collection that's coming up. I think Doug has bought a few items from me over the years. I don't know him really well or anything, but I know of him. I've seen a lot of his posts on Facebook, but anyway, he's got his collection up for auction ending on December 7th, and it's going to be interesting to see how it goes because we've had a lot of big collections that have all been coming up kind of back to back to back between Heritage and Golden and obviously Hakes. And, you know, it seems like there's a lot of folks, including me, that have decided to sell their collection this year. And you wonder if there's going to be any kind of market capitulation. I hope for Doug's sake that it goes very well for him. But we've just had so many collections that have come up this year, and it's right around the holidays. So a lot of people have, some people have their budget kind of constrained with holiday needs because a lot of his items do, I think, target the general collector. They're not like, the rarest of the rare, although there are some very rare items. But lots of very affordable items in this auction. And, I'm just going to give you an example of some of the stuff that's in this, but it's a beautiful, beautiful variant collection of loose graded for those that are into that. In addition, again, to all the mint on cards, we'll kind of look at a general summary at the end, but this is a CAS 70 early bird set. This does have the double telescoping lightsaber version of Luke Farm Boy. And I think that this is a kind of a good example of the type of item you're going to get. There's lots of kind of mid-grade items that are desirable among collectors that maybe can't afford the AFA 85s and 90s. Doug has put together a beautiful collection. And this is probably, in my opinion, the most interesting item in this auction lot. And it's one of the featured items from Heritage. It says Star Wars Sparky and Speedo original Ralph McQuarrie concept artwork with Sparky's clock. So the clock, I think, is just like the standard retail version. It's from Panasonic in Japan from 1988, but it's got the original drawings that he did as part of it. And so let's read the description on this because I do think this one's very interesting. In 1988, Ralph McQuarrie was enlisted by Panasonic to design a pair of whimsical droid mascots, Sparky and Speedo, for a Japanese commercial tie-in. And the result was a delightful fusion of McQuarrie's unmistakable design sensibility with the playful character-driven marketing that has defined the saga. So while it doesn't necessarily scream Star Wars to me, it does accompany the original Spark clock, a physical piece of promotion merchandise modeled directly after McQuarrie's character design. And this is from Japanese promotional culture from the 1980s. And the artwork is, obviously in there. So you can see all the different drawings that are included as part of this. To me, this is the coolest item. It's so unique. And obviously the weird clock from Panasonic is included, but this to me just is so cool. I don't know what it is about this design work and just kind of everything about it, but it screams just very cool 1980s weird Japanese stuff. I just think it's awesome. So I don't know what that's going to go for. I have no idea what the value is on this, but it is very, very cool. And I hope that somebody I know buys that so I can see it at some point in person. So we've got a couple of other, just lots of loose graded that I wanted to show you. Toll Toys Vinyl Cape Jawa AFA 75. So, again, these items should stay within the realm of reasonableness, although this one will certainly be expensive, $1,500 to $2,000 pretty easily. But, for those of you that are into 75 grade type items, here you go. We've got a 75 plus for Tig Fromm with the coin graded AFA 85. The big one is this one. This is, while not the highest grade, it is the glass leet. And it is, one of the rarest items that you can get for licensed production figures in terms of Vlix. So this is the glass leet Vlix AFA 60. So again, the grade is not the highest of the high, but it's 100% complete with the weapon, and it is graded by AFA. So that is an awesome, awesome item, and I would love to have had that when I was still buying up these weird variants. We also do, the glass leets, he's got the full run, and it's true for Lili Ledy. He's got a lot of Lili Ledys. He's got Spanish Pox and PvPs, which we'll go through in a second. But if you're into those glass leet figures in mid-grade, we got an AFA 70 plus for Luke Farmboy, tough to find. The Han Solo is always tough to find. He and Leia from the glass leet Brazilian factory included like a Jawa blaster, and not like the Jawa blaster from Hong Kong. These are factory-specific Jawa blasters, figures factory-specific, but very cool. That's a 75 plus. The Leia is graded AFA 70, and you can see there it includes that Jawa blaster, but those are very tough variants to find in any grade. You just don't see them come up very much. So you variant hunters will need to go check these out. We've got the unpainted overstock Spanish PvP AT-AT Commander, which is a very common one. You do find that pretty often. I don't know why it got archived, which is a shame. I feel like with unpainted and non-sonic welded, CAS should have graded this instead of archiving it, but for whatever reason it was not graded. But it also does have the Spanish PvP Paleface graded CAS 70. But that's pretty cool. What else? We've got a Spanish Puck Luke Skywalker Farm Boy, brown hair, CAS 55. Again, none of these are like the highest grades, but they're just weird, harder to find variants that you don't see pop up very often. Obviously, the Puck Bosk. This is the Toxic Limbs Bosk that I've talked about in other videos. This was an AFA 75. It's not a Pop 6. It's higher than that. There's more than 6 on the population report. I don't know why they say Pop 6, but it's the third highest grade, only 2 higher. That's probably correct, but I know there's more than 6 of these, at least the last time I checked, but there's more like 12 or 15, something like that. But that is a very cool variant, and the Toxic Limbs is referring to the bright green skin, light green skin. So Puck Bosk, very, very desirable. That's a very desirable grade as well. Mine was only a 60 grade, so that is a beauty there. And the Lili Ledy 12-inch line, while not graded, they are very impressive to see all together. So he's got all of the loose 12-inch Lili Ledys. You can see the Han Solo. They're all just a little different, but he's got kind of like that pirate outfit, pirate blaster. It's a very interesting variation. These are the figures that have the Lili Ledy stamp on their neck, like they're gang members. But you got Han Solo. You've got the Leia. Leia looks like she's had some marital troubles with Han with the hair. She looks like she's has been on a bender. But that's a very cool figure there. The Luke Skywalker, as you can see, is just a little different than the Kenner version, and that one is, these are not complete, I don't think, but I don't know if the Luke came with a saber or not. You'd have to do your research on that, but very cool there. The coolest one is the Tusken Raider, which I'll show you in a second. This Vader I know is not complete because I think he does include a saber, but that's very nice. I mean, these are very, very tough to find figures, complete or not. Here is the Tusken Raider, easily a holy grail for a lot of collectors. This 12-inch Lili Ledy Tusken Raider is amazing, amazing condition, and I'm pretty sure that they did not include any accessories other than the clothes for all of these. I don't know if the Vader had a saber or not. Let's see. It doesn't mention anything. It's got the original garments and cape. Yeah, so again, you would probably want to just double check it against some of the Star Wars archives online to see what is missing, if anything. But I know that the Han is complete, but I'm not sure about Leia, Luke, or Vader, if there was a saber that was included. I thought there was for Vader. But the Lili Ledy Tusken Raider, man, this right here is an awesome, awesome item. Next up, there is one proof card. I didn't see much of the way of proof cards. I didn't really look too closely, but I think this is the only one that I saw, which was an AFA 80 Revenge of the Jedi Han Hoth. And there's a lot of bootlegs as well, graded and ungraded bootlegs. He's got a really nice assortment of the Hungarian bootlegs, including a 100% complete Boba Fett. This one is graded 50, as most of these are. You know, a lot of these are just in really rough shape. I don't know if that's really a 50, but that's pretty nice looking example, really, for what it is. The Uzes are also making an appearance. He's got a lot of CAS graded Uzes, including a very, very tough to find Death Star droid, Turkish bootleg Uze, graded 70 plus. That is about the nicest I've ever seen for the Death Star droid Uze. I mean, the back has got some wear around the butt, but this is a very, very nice example of the Uze Turkish bootleg Death Star droid. Here, Polish bootlegs make an appearance. I just picked out one to show you, but this is one that's got the overstock, unpainted, still on the sprue. The arms have come off the sprue, but they displayed it with the arms and legs, and then Luke X-Wing is unpainted in orange. I don't know why it's archived here instead of graded, but that's what they did, I guess. I mean, it all depends on the submitter. Some people submit stuff to CAS and they just want it archived as authentic, and they don't care about a grade, which I don't get. I mean, to me, if you're going to send it in, you might as well put a grade on it, but that's just me, though. But that's a very cool example there. I used to have one of these for Boba Fett, so that's in there. And, you know, again, there's a ton of Lili Ledys. They've got the Lili Ledy Darth Vader carrying case, lots of bootlegs throughout, some poppies that are shown there that are kind of, they look incomplete to me, but, you know, they are graded, kind of loose graded figures with the box. And, you know, again, all the glass sleeves are there. Chewbacca, C-3PO, the Hoth Stormtrooper, even the Kia Maul is in this one. So, very, very nice foreign variants. The glass sleeve droids cartoon version of C-3PO, as well as the glass sleeve R2-D2 with the pop-up lightsaber, glass sleeve George Dusat. I mean, it's a really incredible foreign variant collection with lots of Spanish PvP and all that kind of thing. And I was, you know, going to show you also just quickly some of the other mint on cards. There's a huge assortment of mint on cards, including early 12 backs and 20 and 21 backs, as you can see here. So again, the grades are all over the place. There's some 60 grades and then there's some 80 pluses. So Doug just, you know, he had kind of a wide and varied collection. They weren't all necessarily the highest of the high grade, but it was great. This is a great auction for those of us that are on a budget right now and you just want to pick up something from it. So best of luck on the auction, but it's a very impressive lot of items that, you know, lots of baggies that are sold in lots there. So mail away items, all kinds of cool stuff like that. So very different, very, you know, to a certain extent, this looks like, it kind of looks like my collection, the way it was on steroids. His was even larger. I mean, he's got just an absolutely gigantic collection. But his tastes were all over the map and very similar to the way I used to collect. So very cool, and kind of gives me an image of what my collection would like kind of look like if it was being sold on one of the auction houses. They got a Seiss Fromm graded AFA 80, lots of coins and ungraded vehicles, things like that. There are some tri-logos in this auction as well. We got the Darth Vader there, Rancor Keeper, Gamorrean Guard, lots of other baggies and things. So it's a beautiful collection, and I just wanted to make people aware of it. And it looks like the auction, the final live auction bidding is on December 7th, which I believe is a Sunday. So, but anyway, if you're wanting to check it out, if you go to the first on ha.com under the auctions tab, you can look up the auction calendar there and pull it up. It's on page 2 right now. And you can even request the catalog. I do have a catalog, by the way, that my buddy Gene gave me. So if anybody wants it, just leave a comment and I'll enter you to win it, and I'll mail it to you if you want a copy of it. It's a really nice catalog that Heritage has put together. So I'll do a giveaway to whoever wants to comment on this video, and I'll just do a random name drawing from using one of those tools. But it's a beautiful, beautiful selection of items, and just wanted to make everyone aware of it before the final bidding goes live on December 7th. That's all I really have for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.